So now moving further, we will discuss what is the structured data, unstructured data, and semi-structured data. So when you are learning this subject, when you are understanding the subject, so you should know what is structured data and unstructured data and what is semi-structured data. So it might be possible that you already know what is the structured, unstructured about. So no problem, we will discuss what is the structured data basically means. So as the name suggests itself, structured data, structured data. So structured data, as the name suggests, it is in the form of table or it is a structured form. It has a structured form. Means structured form means that is easy to access, easy to store. Means structured if form that is structured in a structured form, not in unstructured uh, which is not structured. You can say unstructured. So we will discuss. No problem. We will clear if you are not able to understand this. So in the form of table. So this structured data is in the form of table. So table, like we have like this table, we have this table. So here we have like columns, rows, and all these. Okay, so which is in structure. So whenever we want to access the data, so we have these tables, we can easily access. Okay, we can go through row, column. If we know row number, column number, so we can easily access the data. So structured data which is in the form of table form, you can say tabular format, which is in a tabular format. So like this is in a tabular format. Okay, and relationship between different rows and columns. So relationship is there between rows and columns. So these are known as rows and these are known as column. So these are rows and these are columns. Okay, so these are rows and these are rows, these are columns. So in structured form there is a relationship between different rows and different columns. So there is a relation with, like in this cell we have some different number of rows and one another column. Okay, so we have one row here and column. So relationship between row and column is structured data, and which is in the form of tabular format. Now highly organized and formatted. So as the name says, structured, which is organized, means we it is not like organized or a raw data. No, it is organized, it is highly organized. So we can easily access that. Highly organized and formatted means it is very much formatted, not unformatted. Okay, so structured data is organized, highly organized, and highly formatted. Now it is organized, it is in the tabular format. Okay, so it is easy to store because we are storing in a tabular format. So it is easy to store because it is organized. Why it is easy to store? Because it is organized, it is in the structured format. Okay, now easy to store and it is easy to process also and easy to access. I told you earlier that now it is in the form of table. Okay, we have a table, we have an organized form of data, so it is easy to process the data and it is easy to access. Like if we want to access some particular data, so we can easily access because it is in the form of tabular format, organized format, not in unorganized format. Okay, it is in structured format. Now another point, based on relational database table. It is based on relational database table. Relational database table means basically the relational database table means in which we have tabular formats. Okay, in which the relationship between their rows and column, relationship between different rows and columns. So relational database nothing but relational means there is a relation, means we have a tabular format data. Okay, so database basically, database is nothing but the collection of data. A database name suggests base, so means we have a large collection of data. So it is database. And relational means we have relationship between rows and column, and table which is in tabular format. So this structured data is based on relational database table. So this is about structured data. Now we will discuss about this unstructured data. It is also unorganized data, we can also say. So not organized in any manner. So this is unstructured data. It can be text, number, dates, or binary large objects. So it can be a text, raw text, numbers, dates, and binary large objects. So it is unstructured. It is based on character and binary data. It is based on character and binary data. So unstructured, as the name suggests, is the opposite of structure. In structured we have organized. Here we have unorganized data. In structured we have formatted. Here we have unformatted data, and it is not organized in any manner. So it can be text, number, and tables and binary large objects. Okay, so now this is a very main this is a very important point, that approx 80% of data worldwide is unstructured. So whenever you go onto the web, here 80%, I'm telling the approx, not exact, approx 80% of the data worldwide is unstructured. Okay, and another point about unstructured is that it requires more storage. Okay, it requires more storage. We cannot store it into a large storage. It requires very high storage, large storage. For that we have to spend large amount of money. So unstructured data, the main points are that approx 80% of worldwide data is unstructured and it requires more storage. Now semi-structured, what is this semi-structured data? Semi-structured data is basically is a combination, or you can say a hybrid. It is a hybrid of both structured and unstructured data. So semi-structured is like we have some structured and unstructured data, both the combination of both structured and unstructured is semi-structured. Now some important point, one important point about this is this semi-structured data is based on RDF. RDF is resource description framework. So whenever a question come into your exam like what is semi-structured, so you can say it is a hybrid of structured and unstructured, and it is based on RDF, that is resource description framework. So this is the very important point, that is based on resource description framework. And what is the example of semi-structured data? Example is XML. XML stands for extensible markup language. Okay, so the example of semi-structured data is XML. So these are some important points about semi-structure. Now we'll discuss some little bit difference about structured, semi-structured and unstructured. So first is transaction management. Transaction management is there in structured data, means transaction management we can do in structured. In semi-structured it is intermediate, in unstructured it is not there. Flexible is less, means structured data is flexible, less means flexibility is there but it is less in case of structured data. But when we talk about semi-structured, it is intermediate, means flexibility is intermediate, not so less, not so more, but more flexible, means we have unstructured data which is more flexible. Difficult to scale, means we have structured data which is difficult to scale, means we cannot scale it. We have some uh, given amount of data, we cannot scale it, means it is not scalable. So difficult to scale towards structured data, it is difficult to scale. When we talk about semi-structure, it is intermediate. Okay, it is intermediate to scale, means not very difficult, not very easy. Now when we talk about unstructured, so it is more scalable. So because I told you 80% of worldwide is unstructured data, so it is more scalable, means has more scalability. Okay, we can scale it more and more. Okay, so this is about structured, unstructured and semi-structured. Thank you.